gamers, Sarah back again today. Today I'm coming with you with a deck profile, and as you can tell from the video, a revamp profile, as I'll be going over my revamped Imperialdramon deck for the BT17 format. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's crack into it. Starting off with the eggs for the deck. For me, I have chosen to bring it back down to the standard flora, that being 4 copies of the BT12 WV. As well, pretty much, given that this is a DNA deck, you inherently want to see your pieces. Hence why WV is now the only egg in the deck, just for the consistency's sake, as WV is one of the draw engines for the deck. Well, cracking into our rookies, with it still being the same core of a full playset of BT12 Vmon and BT12 Wormmon as their search pieces and end of turn DNA Digivolutions. And following them up, I have brought it down to 2 copies of the promo Vmon, 1 copy of promo Wormmon as a search, add consistency with a search, and end of turn DNA, and also a BT16 Wormmon to also add to consistency as with the ability to recycle your level 4 free traits from trash and digivolve into make any of your Digimon digivolve into them. With this being a more even split of Wormmon and Vmon names. Going from there, going on toward the level 4 lineup. For this format, it's still pretty much the same old 4 copies of BT12XV, a 3-2 split between BT12 Sting and Structure Deck Sting, the 1 copy of XV to ensure jamming, and well, for the other level 4s, I decided to run 1 copy of Togemogamon and 1 copy of Magnamon, the Structure Deck 17 Magnamon to be more exact, still as my sauce for the deck. As well, Togemogamon here ends up helping with the color requirements for your DNA, and is also an armor purge, allowing you to keep a Wormmon or Vmon on board, barring that you still have it as a source, as well as Togemogu being able to stun the opponent whenever they end up suspending, and also being able to trash a source from the opponent. While good old Magnamon here is a good security bomb with the D-Digivolve 1, and possible Digivolve into if XVmon's on, if there's an XVmon, a Vmon on the board, I mean. Then going from there, come the level 5s. Still running the 4 copies of, well, the key card himself, BT16 Imperialdramon, and the old Structure Deck Imperialdramon as the Imperialdramons of the deck, as these 2 are your front runners for rushing down the opponent. Obviously, Imperialdramon, this BT16 Imperialdramon is the better of the 2 for obvious reasons, as you're able to recover your stack with partition, barring it's anything besides battle. And then the good old Imperialdram for that bot decking and the ability to unsuspend itself for another check. And then from there, going on to our level 6s. I still end up going with the 3-1 split of the BT17 Imperial Dragon mode and Structure Deck Dragon mode. As well, BT16 is pretty much one of the better Imperial draws for the deck, as this Dragon mode pretty much allows you to set up a counterplay in response to, well, affect evolution or affect play, playing Digimon being played by effect, really. As well as it also adding the aggression factor, as when it evolves, you pretty much also get to unsuspend it by suspending one opposing Digimon or Tamer. And that being the same target you apply cannot unsuspend. And then to go over both Dragon modes, it's a 2-1 split between the Imperialdramon Fighter Mode Ace and then the BT12 Fighter Mode. With Fighter Mode Ace being something that the opponent does have to respect, unless they see their stack be bounced to hand. If they choose to run into, choose to attack haphazardly. And then the single BT12 Fire Mode is there as a way to clear board, barring that the conditions are met with the whole playing board having no sources. And is still a pretty good body to have on board if you don't want to risk the overflow from Fire Mode Ace. With this Fire Mode also being able to having the ability to buff itself as long as you have 2 or more colors and sources, and as well as being with blocker and Sec +1. And then going into our final Digimon in the deck, it's the 1 copy of the man himself, Imperialdramon Paladin Mode Ace, as the newest addition, really. As well, this ends up being pretty anti-7 Great Demon Lords and anti-trash deck in general, as its on-play when evolve allows you to trash all sources from all opposing Digimon, then return all cards from either your own or your opponent's trash to deck bottom. And if you end up hitting a level 7 white Digimon with this effect that was returned, you immediately gain back 3. Obviously, this is here for a very decent idea play, as you pretty much strip all sources and just pretty much wreck shop, as its secondary effect is the one attacking that's not once returned, allows you to turn one of your opponent's Digimon with no sources to deck bottom, and it allows it to unsuspend itself. Pretty much going for a Hail Mary if the opponent has a wide board once this drops and still remains your turn, as you could do multiple checks while also clearing their board by bouncing. Well, going into Tamers, for me, it's still a 4-2 split. 4-2 split between BT16 Davis and Ken, and also the Memory Server BT3 Davis. With BT16 Davis Ken still seeing play as your free body generator of a Worm or Vmon. And then Davis being a memory server and also on-play searcher. And from there, on to the options. And here is pretty much where I've switched it up, as in place of Invincible Insect Dragon Fusion, it's 3 copies of Return to the Primogenitor as the main, evolution option of the deck, as this ends up being a archetypal HPD for Imperialdramon, as you essentially just evolve up essentially, well, cost of 2 to 3, depending on the situation. As well, the return to Primogenitor allows one of your Digimon to Digivolve into a level 5 or higher Digimon with the free trait at a reduced cost of 4, and then sets itself on board. As its delay effect, pretty much is a protection effect, as if one of your Digimon with free would be deleted outside of your own effects, you get to Digivolve that Digimon into an Imperialdramon name from hand without paying the cost and preventing that deletion. Pretty much giving your Imperialdramons and Dragon modes, and even Fighter modes, an extra life, as long as you have the next stage in hand. And to round off the deck is the single copy of Megadeth for the removal options. With Megadeth still being in the deck as well as one of the good go-to removal options if you see it in hand, and is still one of the best security bombs in the deck. And well, that's it for the deck itself. As for tech options, you will definitely need to play around, well, ratios based on how you want to play it. As well, one thing you could add in would be HPD again. Well, bringing out HPD, giving it its own ability to pretty much be a evolution fodder. Or for removal options, say Heaven's Judgment, which works especially well and becomes very destructive if you have Paladin mode Ace, as you essentially end up get 4 ticks instead of the average 3 ticks. As well, Imperialdramon is a 3-color Digimon. And for other removal options, for more widespread boards, being Gigadeath. And for utility's sake, there's also nothing wrong in throwing in a ratio of Invisible Dragon Insect Fusion to help go into your Imperialdramons faster. And aside from that, your Digimon, you would still also have the ability to throw in BT12 Dino B as spot removal, or go even further down and have Lydramon to also help deal with pesky floodgates and the such while on board. And that's for the deck itself. Now on to the combos. For the most part, for your starting hand, you'd want to prioritize seeing pretty much 2 rookies in hand, that being your searching rookies, and also, given my build, a promo V, as well, since BT17 Worm can't really be used in raising for 0 cost, unless you want to choke the opponent to 1 memory. As well, this Wormmon more so leans towards the utility side, as I previously mentioned. And then from there, you'd also then want to put on second priority, seeing a combination of a blue and a green level 4 to have ready for your explosive plays. And thirdly, will likely be your Pyldras or your Tamers, as either ends up being a explosive point in your plays. Obviously, seeing your Tamers early on to establish them early helps in the long run of the game, given that you pretty much do more searching and have memory set, or constantly spawn a body for free that has the potential to search or be second evolution fodder to go into your explosive plays of Imperialdramon. As pretty much once you pop off with a Imperialdramon, preferably seeing any combination of your Sting and XV to just constantly swing in for two times to constantly draw mostly off of your Demi V inheritable and Promo V inheritable to pretty much go into your higher ends, as you'd want to later on see Return of the Primogenitor followed by your level 6s, and optionally seeing Paladin mode in hand. And that's also another part of utility where BT16 Wormmon comes in as a possible fixer for the deck. Since this Wormmon has a Starmane and on play to recycle any of your level 4s and digivolve any of your level 3 Digimon into them, thus allowing you to go into Imperialdramon a little bit more reliably. And then from there, you could either hard evolve into Imperial BT16 Dragon mode or Structure Deck Dragon mode, depending on how you want to go about things. As well, putting it over Structure Deck over BT16 Imperial pretty much allows you to pretty much have this stack run it safe and just bring out both level 3s and then trigger their on plays, further becoming extenders for possible plays as follow-up. While BT16 Dragon mode is to further add some control and aggression. And then outside of that, for option, you also could just pop off again by throwing down Return to the Primogenitor and use it on Imperialdramon to then go into any of your Dragon modes for practically 2 cost. Since the reduced cost, evolution cost was reduced by 4. And then from there, pretty much just sit pretty with your fire modes and Paladin mode in hand to react to any other options. As well, with Return of the Primogenitor on board as well, you also end up creating a second life situation for your Imperialdra's Dragon modes and fighter modes, essentially, which would culminate into a Imperialdramon, Paladin mode from hand being made into. As well, Primogenitor's delay can protect your Dragon modes from effect removal before going into battle, and the same applies to your fighter modes being delayed by any means outside of your own effects, of course. Lilith is still also a decent workaround to Primogenitor. And then pretty much having Paladin mode drop down as one big finisher Hail Mary, depending on how their board state is when you choose to drop this down and swing. Overall, this has been my BT17 deck profile for Imperialdramon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and this is Cyberjaw signing off.